Put this a little up. Hold on. Let me put the little here. We're going to chop it up. We're going to be talking about who is the boxer, the fighter of the decade, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, who is the fighter of the decade? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. We're going live. Let's talk. Going to be here for probably for half an hour. Let's see who's going to be chopping it up with us. We're going to be chopping it up with me, yours truly, Punch Drunk. You already know. We got a lot of things to talk about, y'all. Decade is almost ending. 2019 almost ending. We're about to head to 2020, a different decade. So right before it goes away, we gotta say, we gotta come up with the conclusion of who is the fighter of the decade. We got Manny Pacquiao, we got Floyd Mayweather, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, Vasiliy Lomachenko, Bud Crawford, and we gonna chop it up. We're gonna come with who is the fighter of the decade. And we're gonna pull up some resume as well. So we're gonna chop it up right now, right quick, and let's start it off with like Mayweather. Let's start it off on. Let me see his resume for this decade. Then we're gonna move on to other boxers. Then we're gonna have to come with a conclusion and be like, yo, what's good, Flip? Thanks, my brother. Manny, fight of the decade. Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna chop it up and see at the end of the day who is the fighter of the decade. But Manny Pacquiao is a wonderful choice. And it's going to be very, very hard to argue that. But let's see. You already know how I feel, Flip, about who's the GOAT. But we're going to be breaking it down to a T and say, really, really, who is the fighter of this decade? 2010 going to 2020. And let's start it off. Let's start it off with Floyd Mayweather's resume. Let's start it off like that. Let's start it off with his resume. We're gonna be moving it up to other dudes. I could have said who's been the best in the past 5 years, but nah, man, we're going to another decade. Let's see. Let's start off from 2010. So Floyd Mayweather beat Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz, Miguel Cotto, 2 Hall of Famers, Robert Guerrero, Saul Alvarez, Marcos Maidana twice, Manny Pacquiao, Andre Berto, and Conor McGregor. Now, let's break it down a little bit with his resume. We're going to be moving on to Manny Pacquiao's resume. We're going to move on to Canelo Alvarez's resume. We'll move on to the other boxers of Vasiliy Lomachenko's of the world. So, we're not counting the Ricky Hatton. We're not counting Oscar De La Hoya because Floyd Mayweather beat them before this decade. So Shane Mosley was, people will be like, oh, he's over the hill. But it is what it is. Floyd Mayweather is not that younger than Shane Mosley. Miguel Cotto was younger and Floyd Mayweather was older. So we got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is older than all these cats. So if we're going to be talking about age, they're supposed to be beating out the old dude, right? So, okay, so he beat Shane Mosley. That's the only oldest dude in his resume. He beat Shane Mosley. I believe Shane Mosley was 38 years old, 37, 38 years old. Victor Ortiz was a champion. He beat Miguel Cotto. He unified the 154. I think he fought Miguel Cotto in 154. Super welterweight. He went back to welterweight. He got another belt, Robert Guerrero. Saul Alvarez, he went back to super welterweight. Beat Marcos Maidana, super welterweight, and WBC belt was on the line. I think they fought on 147 pounds. He beat him twice. Rematch, majority decision. Manny Pacquiao, that was supposed to be the fight of the century. Andre Berto. Now, the only undefeated fighter that he beat was Saul Alvarez. Saul Alvarez was 22 to 23 years old. So that's Floyd Mayweather's resume, which has 1, 2, a future Hall of Fame in Saul Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao, which I consider the GOAT, right? In all my videos, I consider him the GOAT. So a win is a win. Now, a lot of people that may have their feelings, oh man, the referee cheated, whatever. But we're going strictly by resume. No feelings at all. Like I said in my channel, we break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. So now let's move on to Manny Pacquiao's resume. Let's move on to Manny Pacquiao's resume. Here we go. So peep this. Remember, right? We already know in the decade, Mayweather went undefeated. He's still undefeated. Now, 2010, Manny Pacquiao's first fight was Clotty. Margarito, which he's moving up in weight for a super welterweight. That's massive. He beat Antonio Margarito, but Margarito already has 6 losses. Shane Mosley, he beat Shane Mosley. He beat Juan Manuel Marquez. He lost to Timothy Bradley with a split decision, which a lot of people felt it was a what up, Los? He lost to Timothy Bradley. Woo! God bless me. Lost to Timothy Bradley, and followed that with a loss with Juan Manuel Marquez. Beat Brandon Rios, avenged his loss with Timothy Bradley, beat Timothy Bradley, beat Chris Algieri, lost to Floyd Mayweather, beat Timothy Bradley, had a third fight with Timothy Bradley, beat Jesse Vargas, lost to Jeff Horn, beat Lucas Matisse, beat Adrian Broner, and beat Keith Fontaine Thurman. So he lost. Manny Pacquiao lost to 3 undefeated fighters in this decade. Now, it's not even close, hence why boxing gave him a fight of the decade. He's accomplished more and fought better competition. Who they gave? To be honest, I don't know because I don't really follow the ESPN and all that stuff like that. Who gave who fight of the year? They gave Manny Pacquiao fight of the year of the decade. I mean, now we going by. So Manny Pacquiao lost 3 times in this decade. We going by pump, but Los are gonna go by punch drunk. We ain't gonna go by what they say. You know, because we go by what they say. For why would I have a channel? You feel me? I gotta go by how I break things, how I break boxing down, my brother. And we gotta keep it honest. Like I said, I break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. We gotta go by the resume. We gotta go by the numbers. Manny Pacquiao lost 3 times. Whether we feel we already know that was a rob. Rob number 1 was Timothy Bradley. Rob number 2 was Jeff Horn. But he got knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez. That can't be denied. And he lost to Floyd Mayweather, which was one of the boringest fights ever in that magnitude. So let's see how many belts he won. Good looking out, Dave. Good looking out. Let's see how many belts Manny Pacquiao won in this decade. So he went to super welterweight for a vacant title. That means Antonio Margarito wasn't really a champion. That was a vacant title. He beat Margarito. That's 1. WBC. He beat Shane Mosley. No, he already had the WBO. My fault. So he already had the WBO. He lost the WBO to Timothy Bradley. He beat Juan Manuel Marquez. He should have never fought Marquez again. He should have never fought Marquez again if you really think about it. That's what happened when you fought the guy for the 4th time. You never should have fought the guy for the 4th time. For the he lost the WBO to Timothy Bradley. He got it back fighting Brandon Rios in the welterweight division for a vacant title again. So Brandon Rios wasn't a champion. They was fighting for a 2nd vacant title that he won. He beat Chris Algieri, which was undefeated. He beat Timothy Bradley, which was undefeated, but he lost to Timothy Bradley. Well, many of us think Pacquiao beat Floyd, and independent analysts prove exactly that. Vladimir, we're all an independent analyst. We're all an independent analyst. And we got to go by the numbers, because if we go by how we feel, then we're never going to give credit what credit is due. Or we're going to discredit, we're going to devalue, we're going to value others, devalue the other. Because if we're going to go by feelings, then there's no point of us even trying to say who's the best in such thing, because we're always going to go by feelings. Look, I feel like the best heavyweight champion of the world was Mike Tyson. I believe he could beat everybody from the 1920s to the night, but that's just my feelings. That's not facts. We have to go by facts, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go by facts. We're not going to go by feelings. But I still feel Pac had 4 guys in their prime. Don't forget the run between 07. Yeah, but that's not the decade, Los. That's not the decade. We're not talking about the best, the best fight of the century. We're talking about the decade. We're talking about 2010, 2020. So it don't matter what actually Pac did in 07 and 09. We have to go by 2010 all the way up to 2020. That's the decade. Vladimir, they proved Floyd landed only. It doesn't matter, Vladimir. I feel you what you're saying, but it does not matter. Whatever the judges gave, the W is there. And to be honest, we got to be honest. Manny Pacquiao didn't do anything significant as well. He only threw 400 punches. That wasn't the Manny Pacquiao that we all love to see and that we all wanted to see. So it's more that it's not that that Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao. It was probably that more that Manny Pacquiao beat himself, because he did not come to that fight being the Manny Pacquiao that we know, and it's not. Floyd Mayweather's fault is Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion's fault, for not postponing the fight. Postpone the fight. No matter how much money it was, you was gonna get it. Do not postpone the. You should have postponed the fight until you're 100% and fight Floyd Mayweather. That's what it is. You got to take. People got to take accountability, my brother. He had to take accountability. Yeah, Lo. So it's 2010 to 2000 up to 2020. It's fight of the decade. So he lost to Timothy Bradley, which we feel that it was a rob. We look at it, we feel it was a rob. So I could take that into consideration, but that Floyd Mayweather stuff, it wasn't a rob. It wasn't a Jeff Horn. It wasn't a Jeff Horn. However, people may dislike Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Both of them gave us a whack show. Let's be honest. Both of them gave us a whack show. Well, that could kill it. That could kill him too. You know what helped Manny Pacquiao with this is that Keith Thurman win, because he's young and a prime and was a champion. Young, prime, and was a champion. Losing to Jeff Horn, which was a robbery, but that losing to Jeff Horn wasn't good. Beat Jesse Vargas for the WBO. Damn, Manny Pacquiao loves fighting for the WBO. We already know that's top rank. So Manny Pacquiao got 3 losses. Got KO 1 time in the decade. So if you compare it to Floyd Mayweather in this decade, and he lost to Floyd Mayweather, could we give it to Manny Pacquiao as fight of the decade? I don't really think so. If we bring it with logistics, I don't really think so. But let's move on to the next guy. We're going to go, and we're just going to get all the information done and then come all around and actually analyze and be very truthful, be very unbiased in this. American boxing is corrupt, same as is here in Australia. I think boxing all around is corrupt. So, but if it's corrupt, then it's up to the boxers to not leave it into the judges' hands. Right? For example, look at Deontay Wilder and Deontay Wilder and what's his name? Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury should have knocked him out. Manny Pacquiao should have knocked out Jeff Horn just like Bud Crawford did. Do not leave it into the judges' hands in Australia. You know? do we really count them as losses? I understand the rivalry. Do we count them as losses? Like I said, we're going to go by feelings then. We have to count them as losses because that's in their record. That's in their record. Now, we understand when we see a robbery. So, of course, let's say the Jeff Horn and the Bradley. Let's say we put it as a no contest in the way we're going to assess the fight of the decade. He still got knocked out by Juan Marquez. And then he still lost to Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather's in the hunt. The only thing with Floyd Mayweather is that he's actually really ended his career halfway of the decade, 2015. But at the end of the day, he still beat Shane Mosley, still beat Cotto, still beat Canelo Alvarez. Let's move on to Canelo Alvarez right now. Let's move on to Canelo Alvarez. You already know, man. So like it, share it. Let's share it. You already know if you want to donate to the channel, donate to the channel. You already know the super chat. You already know Push From Boxing. Let's go to Saul Alvarez. Saul Alvarez. All right. Saul Alvarez got a lot of unknown names. He got Nadal. He got Matthew Hatton. He got Rose. He already is a champion. He won the champion, the vacant WBC title, super welterweight against Hatton, who's really Hatton at that time. Rhodes, who's really Rhodes at that time. Gomez was an okay fighter. Clinton, boom, he beat Shane Mosley, the same guy that Manny Pacquiao beat, the same guy. Yeah, Los, I gotta go. We gotta go straight by the book on this one. But yeah, we're gonna take it into consideration about the Timothy Bradley robbery. We're going to take it into, imagine not even the Timothy Bradley, but the Jeff Horn robbery. We're going to take that into consideration. Let's look at that like a no contest, right? Let's look at that as a no contest, right? But at the end of the day, he still lost to Floyd Mayweather. He still got knocked out by Marquez. So let's say he beat Shane Mosley, the same guy that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao beat. We're talking about Canelo Alvarez's resume right now. Austin Trout was undefeated. I mean, he beat Josecito Lopez. He beat Austin Trout to unify the titles, the WBC and the WBA and the super welterweight 154 pounds. He went to fight Floyd Mayweather, lost to Floyd Mayweather. Majority decision. So he lost. That's his first loss. Right? We're going to 2014 now. Alfredo Nguyo, he beat TKO. Lara was a split decision where some of the people feel like that Lara beat Canelo Alvarez. It was a split decision. He beat Kirkland. He beat Miguel Cotto, the same guy that also Miguel Cotto lost to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He beats Amir Khan. Amir Khan had to drain himself. Got to keep it real on that one. In 160 pounds, we really know Amir Khan is no more than 140 pounds, 147 pounds. He's not even a great 147 pounder. So his career was really in 140 pounds. Liam Smith, Julio Cesar Chavez, Gennady Golovkin, a draw with Triple G, beat Triple G majority decision. Rocky Fielding, Daniel Jacobs, and Sergey Kovalev. Now, in the first half of this decade, he lost to Floyd Mayweather, beat Austin Trout. He unified the titles in super welterweight. He unified the title in the middleweight division, and he became a three different division world champion in this decade. In this decade alone, super welterweight, middleweight, 4 division world champions he captured in 4 different weight classes. Now, that's what you got to take into consideration as well. 4 division world champion. Yes, he lost to Floyd Mayweather. That was his only loss. He had a draw with Triple G. He invested with a win. Triple G was undefeated. The only undefeated fighters that he fought, that he beat, was Trout. That's one undefeated fighter. Smith, another undefeated fighter. Gennady Golovkin, another undefeated fighter. So 3 undefeated fighters that Canelo Alvarez beat and was a 4-division world titleist. So that's an accomplishment on itself in a span of 10 years. So we got to give credit where credit is due. So who has a better resume up to date? Is Canelo Alvarez to Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao only became a 2-division world champion at that time in the decade. Lost 3 times. If you want to say the no contest, let's put it not even on the books. Let's give even the lead. I'm giving the leeway. And you already know, man, I'm trying to break these down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. And I'm giving a leeway saying that, okay, Manny Pacquiao got robbed with the Jeff Horn, because I believe it's worldwide that we all know that was a rob, right? But at the end of the day, he still got knocked out by Marquez. That can never change, right? So who has a better resume from Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather beat both of them. So at the end of the day, maybe Floyd Mayweather still got an upper hand, but Canelo Alvarez having a 4th-division world champion is a great accomplishment as well. Let's move on. Both of them got losses. Let's move on to, let's go to Deontay Wilder. Let's go to Deontay Wilder. Well, since I'm already here, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think where I'm heading at. Let me know what y'all think. You already know, man. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. You already know. Let's move on to Deontay Wilder. Let's move on to Deontay Wilder. We're talking about fighter of the decade. Who's the fighter of the decade? Now, wow. Deontay Wilder probably had like 20 fights. Damn. Wow. Okay. All right, fellas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Deontay Wilder up to 2014, from 2010 to 2014. Sheesh. Did I really count this much knockouts in a knockout streak? Can I count it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 straight TKO KO by Deontay Wilder. 24 straight knockout TKO by Deontay Wilder in 4 years. In 4 years, he have knocked out 24 men in 12 years. Now, I'm not even mentioning the names because a lot of people don't know the names. But you know what? Just like I give leeway to Manny Pacquiao, even though that we break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively, you know, I gave leeway because of the Jeff Horn and say there was a robbery. Deontay Wilder, which a lot of people say he hasn't fought nobody, but take this into consideration. Wilder is not supposed to be that. Wilder is not supposed to be the man that we see right now, because Wilder started at the age of 20 fighting. Started late. Didn't have all the technique. And you're telling me in 4 years he have knocked down 24 dudes. Then he got all the way up to Stavern. 2015, he won his first title. Eric Molina was a ranked heavyweight. Knocked him out. Went to a decision with Stavern. Dual Boss knocked him out. Spilka knocked him out. Chris Arreola knocked him out. Gerald Washington knocked him out. Bernard, Stavern again knocked him out in the first round. Luis Ortiz, which was considered the boogeyman of the division of this era, knocked him out. When a draw with Tyson Fury, undefeated. He beat an undefeated fighter in Gerald Miller and Luis Ortiz, knocked him out. Dominic Brazil knocked him out. Luis Ortiz knocked him out. So in the decade, I counted 24 straight TKO knockout victories by Deontay Wilder. And that was before the Stavern fight. So after that, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 knockouts. Deontay Wilder had 33 knockouts in a span of 10 years. That means he knocks out. Wow. That's a lot of knockouts, man, in 10 years. 24 straight knockouts, too. So, in the end of the day, Deontay Wilder has a prestige record going on around here. His knockout and win ratio is probably one of the best in boxing history in 100 plus years. But of course, we're just breaking out the decade. In this decade, he has 33 knockouts. 33 knockouts, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Bobby. All right, Bobby. Good looking out, man. Good looking out, my brother. Got the draw with Tyson Fury. Canelo Alvarez got a draw with Triple G. Got no losses. And only won one belt. Still haven't unified. And I think that's what's going to hurt Deontay Wilder probably in my assessment in this decade. He has not unified. Since 2000, I've been saying in a lot of videos, since 2015, he's been a champion and still haven't had a unification belt. That's a problem in my estimate with his management, with promotion, whatever he was handling his affairs. I don't care about the pocket, the money and stuff like that, because as a fan, we don't give a damn about the money. You're not giving us the money. All we care about the action. All we care is about your legacy. But Deontay Wilder, 33 knockouts in this decade. 24 straight TKO KO knockout before the Stavern fight. Let's move on. Now, with that, you can tell me who got a better resume. People going to be like, oh, but Deontay Wilder, where's the name? The leeway that I give Deontay Wilder is Deontay Wilder should have never been Deontay Wilder. Remember, we're talking about the decade. We're not talking about ever. We're talking about 2010 to 2020. We're talking about the decade. We're not talking about ever. Let's move to a lot of people talking about Vasiliy Lomachenko. So let's go with Vasiliy Lomachenko. A lot of people going to feel like he hasn't done a lot of stuff, but we're talking about the best fight of the decade, so we're going to move on to the best fight of the decade. We're going to go to the resume right now. Steven, you say Manny Pacquiao. You think Manny Pacquiao in this decade got a better resume than Canelo Alvarez? You think in this decade he got a better resume than than Floyd Mayweather? Or do you think he has a better accomplishment and better resume than Deontay Wilder? Now, state your case. Just don't say Pacquiao. Say why you feel like that and why the guys that I mentioned right now and their resume, why Manny Pacquiao is better than his resume, than those resumes. In this decade, Manny Pacquiao only has one knockout. I believe so. No, I'm sorry. Two knockouts. The Margarito, Cotto, and Lucas Metisse. What up, Sacramento? What's good, bro? Monster Inoue of the decade? Hey, if you want me to break it down, his resume compared to the resume that I've done already, I already did Floyd Mayweather. I already did Canelo Alvarez. I already did Manny Pacquiao. I already did Deontay Wilder. We're moving on to the Vasiliy Lomachenko. So Vasiliy Lomachenko started out in 2013 and started out fighting ranked fighters straight off from the bat. Top 10 straight from the bat. Beat Ramirez, lost to Salido, that had 12 losses already. A lot of people like to push that to the side, but he lost to Salido. He beat an undefeated Gary Russell Jr. He beat Gary Russell Jr., which a lot of people consider that Gary Russell Jr. was going to be the winner of the next pound-for-pound type of cannibal fighter, which I believe he still is. He beat Tatakun. Remember, he became champion in his third bout. He became champion. I'm sorry, he became champion in his first bout. I'm sorry. Vasiliy Lomachenko became champion in his first bout. Pac-Man's resume with old school greats, while today's fighters can't be compared to. So Steven has not counting compliment. He's just going straight down. How did Salido beat Loma, but a pound-for-pound fighter got smoked by a guy in his third fight? So Salido beat Lomachenko. Then Gary Russell Jr. fought for the vacant title. He beat Gary Russell Jr. Tatakun. He beat Tatakun, which 51-1. He beat Rodriguez 25-2 KO. He beat Romulo, WBO, Roman Martinez. He beat Nicholas Walters, another undefeated fighter that a lot of people felt that was going to give him probably a lot of trouble. He made him quit. Jason Sosa, he made him quit. Miguel Moraga, he made him quit. Rigondeaux, he made him quit. You remember he had that streak where he was just making people quit after quit after quit. Do we count the year 2020? No, we don't count the year 2020. We count the year 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We don't count 2020. 2020 enters the new decade. It's up to 2020. So we're ending it right now. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing it in December. We're talking about the best of this decade. He beat Rigondeaux, who was supposed to be and was undefeated, but of course Rigondeaux was moving up 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko. So we can't erase that. He beat Jorge Linares, Pedraza, Croyo, and Luke Campbell. Now, first we got to consider that Lomachenko won his first title in his first fight. So he beat the Rigondeaux of the world, which I believe that, he was an advantage because Rigondeaux was moving up 2 weight classes. Luke Campbell, I believe that he was going to... Of course, also, we got to understand the difficulties of these fights, too. We got to put that in the mix, too. Can't finish Sosa, bro. I'm just not a big Loma, bro. He got the technique for sure, sweetie. But okay. We just going to be breaking it down. I don't think that Lomachenko has been a 3-division world titleist in this decade. Featherweight title, super featherweight, lightweight, super lightweight. So that's 4. Ooh. So is that 3-division world champion or 4 from Lomachenko? I think it's 3-division world champion by Lomachenko. And unified. First time he unified was against Luke Campbell. So of course, we got Canelo Alvarez that unified 2 different division world, 2 different divisions. We got Deontay Wilder, who knocked out 33 people in the span of 10 years, 24 straight knockouts, and TKO knockouts. No unification bout, just one unification, just one title. Never faced another champion. So we got to take that into consideration. Manny Pacquiao has lost 3 times, become the Hall of Famers, went all the way to super welterweight to face Margarito which he beat, which it is difficulty, but lost to Floyd Mayweather, lost to got knocked out Marquez, lost to Bradley, but avenged his loss to Bradley, and lost to Jeff Horn, which we're gonna give Manny Pacquiao the leeway with Jeff Horn because we all know, I think the world from every corner knows that was a robbery. Roll a Canelo Mayweather award. Boom! Damn, my man. Let's break down Andre Ward. Next. Andre Ward. So, Pacquiao resume crushes both Ward and Canelo's. I'm not hating. Lemon 26. You saw when I said about Manny Pacquiao's resume. Manny Pacquiao resume, he lost 3 times. So, how is Manny Pacquiao's resume? Just give us insight. Like let's chop it up, baby. We already know this is punch. This is not even about right or wrong. We wanna talk, but talk with facts. We're gonna talk with just not, let's say Manny Pacquiao was number 1, or Floyd Mayweather was number 1, or Andre Ward number 1. Let's say why. Let's break down the resume from a T. I'm saying the resume, so I'm giving y'all the information, and you can go with your phones or your smartphone, and we go about it together, so we could really do this all together as hardcore boxing fans and be realistic. No bias. Push your bias to the side. Whoever you like, we're just gonna go straight by the books. Push your bias to the side. Let's be fair to these fighters that actually sacrifice their life for pure entertainment. Let's not devalue what a lot of people has done because we like somebody better than the other one. Let's go straight from the book. Let's go straight. Let's go by it. If go about it like if we're talking about your son or your daughter's resume. Let's keep it real. We're gonna go by. Now we're gonna go Andre Ward. Yeah, I want to see Pac-Man lost all his laws, but he's robbed 3 times. In the decade Vicious, I only see two probably noticeable rob, and that's Bradley and that's Jeff Horn. He avenged that loss with Bradley. He didn't avenge that robbery from Jeff Horn, so we're gonna call that as a no contest because I feel like that was a pure robbery that we feel. I say Manny Pacquiao was the best because of the people on his resume. Ward does have a fair resume. The beat flies. Let's go. Let's go with the Andre Ward now. 2010, Alan Green only lost 1 time. He was already a WBA champion. Andre Ward. Boom. Second fight. Bilka. Arthur Abraham. That was a good fight. Unanimous decision. Carl Froch, that was a great win. Chad Dawson, TKO, that was a great win. 2013, Rodriguez, undefeated. Then he went to his hiatus, had problems with the promotional company. Paul Smith, Barrera, Brand, Sergey Kovalev, which a lot of people felt that was a robbery. A lot of people felt like Kovalev won that fight, but Andre Ward won. We're gonna keep it in the books, and then he beat him with a TKO, and then he retired. Now, of course, we already know everybody was loving the Super Series, and that was great for that time. I think it was a competition at that time. Now, of course, there's not a lot of notable Super Bowl name that a lot of people know mainstream, but at the end of the day, if everybody knows boxing and was witnessing that Super Series, we all wish that every division has a Super Series the way that Andre Ward did. We all wish that everybody was fighting the best at that time. And yes, at that time, they was fighting the best of the best in that division, and Andre Ward came out on top. And that's gonna go. That part of history in boxing is gonna be kind of monumental, and we got to take that into consideration. And Chad Dawson was a problem. They say Horn and Bradley robbed him. I say that too. Had big time pay-per-view for a while now. Sacramento, you're damn right. Vince, packed because of the historic 8-time world division. We're talking about decade, Vince. We're not talking about what Manny Pacquiao did in his career. We're talking about what Manny Pacquiao did from 2010 to all the way up to 2020, up to now. We're talking about the best fighter of the decade. We're not talking about the best fighter all times. We're just talking about 2010, 2000 up to 2020. So that's what I mean. We got to push our feelings to the side. We got to push our bias to the side. Whoever got some bias, if you like the fighter, if your favorite fighter is Manny Pacquiao, we got to push that feeling in your heart to a side, and let's go by the numbers. If you're a fan of Andre Ward, we got to push it to a side. If you're a fan of Canelo Alvarez, got to push it to a side. This is about boxing. This is about coming up with the best. Who is the best fighter of today's decade? We're talking about 2010 to 2020. We already broke down Floyd Mayweather. We broke down Manny Pacquiao resume, Canelo Alvarez, Deontay Wilder, Vasiliy Lomachenko. We did Andre Ward. I don't think that Andre Ward probably had a lot of significant fights compared to the other guys and other names. But the difficulties of the Super Series was difficult. If people really considered that, not because of these other guys, the Carl Froch of the world, the Chad Dawson of the world, is not that famous, but at the end of the day, that was a Super Series and is a monumental to the sport of boxing, especially when it comes to this decade. Everybody's always going to be talking about the Super Series. So, for the difficulties in Andre Ward, he's undefeated as well. He beat the guys that he beat. Nobody has more than 5 losses. So he's beating guys that have 1 loss, 2 loss, 1 loss. And other fighters are beating guys that got, the Lomachenko losing to Salido and lost 12 times. That takes a dip in his resume when we are accounting for the fight of the decade. You already know, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Let me get that out of the way. We're moving on. Let's go to what other fighter y'all feel like it should be fight of the decade? Should I add Anthony Joshua to the mix? Should I add Tyson Fury to the mix? Should I add Mikey Garcia to the mix? Keith Thurman to the mix? He unified. Errol Spence, should we let's go with Buck Crawford, matter of fact. Let's go with Buck Crawford. Let's go with Buck Crawford. Fight of the decade. We're going to 2010. All right. He fought a bad guy, a bunch of nobody. Let's go. When he first started really fighting. 2013. Prescott, Sanabria, Clermont, Ricky Burns, Gamboa. He beat Gamboa. Gamboa was undefeated. Thilmore, Gene, Lundy, unified with Victor Postel, undefeated. John Molina Jr. Daddy duties. Give me 1 second. That's what we do it. What up, Guido? Felix Diaz. And I'm gonna say it like this. That's one of the wins of Buck Crawford that a lot of people do not give him credit. People forget Felix Diaz was a gold medalist in the Olympics. Felix Diaz was a problem. Felix Diaz was ranked in the welterweight and 140 pounds. He was one of the top dudes in the sport of boxing at that time. After Bud Crawford beat him, it feels like everybody just erased him out of the face of the earth. Nobody gave him no more credit. Nobody was talking about Felix Diaz. That was a problem right there. Felix Diaz was a problem. That was a great win. I thought it was going to be a difficult fight as well. Retire Felix Diaz. Beat undefeated Ndongo. Beat undefeated Jeff Horn, the guy that people that robbed Manny Pacquiao, but at least he got him out there. He didn't let no how you say it, corrupt thing get in the way. You feel like something's corrupt, you get him out of there. Don't put your confidence into the We got Jose Benavidez Jr. He beat Amir Khan. So he unified the titles on 140 pounds. Became undisputed. Became undisputed, y'all. Won the title at 135 pounds. Unified at 140 pounds. Undisputed at 140 pounds. And a welterweight champion in 147 pounds. Good looking out, Sacramento, for the super chat. Thank you very much. You, my brother, you already know, man. Always looking now. God bless you, bro. Love you. We family out here, man. Come on. We get, I'm like, I'm the guy in the subway. Little chain. Little chain. Thank you, my brother. 2 cents, 1 cent, $2, $1, anything. You already know. Good looking now. Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. And he still got to fight with Mean Machine, another undefeated fighter. So Bud Crawford beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 undefeated fighters, more than anybody in the list. He has beaten 5 undefeated fighters. Got to take into consideration, and he became undisputed. So, remember, we're going fighter of the decade. Bud Crawford became undisputed champion, beat 5 undefeated fighters, has won 3 division world title, has unified 2 divisions, 1 undisputed, which have not been how many undisputed champions there are in the history of the sport of boxing, that is an accomplishment. So now we're really going to get it. Now we're really getting into the nitty gritty of who could be the fighter of today's of the decade, 2010. Now, does Bud Crawford got a better resume and better more accomplishment than Floyd Mayweather? Maybe more accomplishments. He's got more names? Probably not. Does he got more competition? The guy in Bowen and the Bud Crawford fight, that was competition. That was a 50-50 fight coming in. The Victor Postal fight was a good fight. So, what y'all think, fellas? What do y'all think? What do y'all think, fellas, about Bud Crawford? Does he got a better resume than Floyd Mayweather? He beat Canelo Alvarez. Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao in there. He beat Shane Mosley in there. He beat Miguel Cotto in there. Did he beat me? No. It wasn't Miguel Cotto. That was 2009. He beat Miguel Cotto on that one. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Mike Tyson facts, bro. Got his eye socket broken. Third by Triple G. Errol Spence resume, apart from Porter, is garbage. Errol Wade, buddy. Deluded. I agree with you on that one. Mayweather has a very good resume, very legendary resume. 11-26, you're damn right. See, it's the names with Floyd Mayweather that it peaks out. Now we gotta go by the resume. We gotta go by, not that he beat the Canelo Alvarez of 2000, 2000, how you say it, 2019. We got to go by that he beat the Canelo Alvarez of when he beat Canelo Alvarez, the 2013 Canelo Alvarez. That Canelo Alvarez only beat Austin Trap. Only beat Austin Trap, really. So, yeah, he beat Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo Alvarez wasn't that Canelo Alvarez. That's like when Roy Jones Jr. beat Bernard Hopkins the first time. Yeah, he beat Bernard Hopkins, but at that time, who was Bernard Hopkins? Just a number. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to put it into, yes, he beat a couple names. He beat Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo Alvarez wasn't the Canelo Alvarez of now. Now let's say Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez today, then it'll be like, oh, he beat Canelo Alvarez. But still a win. It's still a big win. My fault. I think Manny Pacquiao was fight of the decade, in my humble opinion. Guido, talk about it. Why you think Manny Pacquiao is the fighter of this decade? Why you think? Compared to Floyd Mayweather's resume, Canelo Alvarez's resume, Deontay Wilder knocking out 33 people in 10 years, 24 straight TKO, KO knockouts. Canelo Alvarez becoming a fourth division world champion in the span of a decade, unifying two divisions. You got Bud Crawford, undisputed, one of the how many guys that's been undisputed in the sport of boxing, in the history of the sport of boxing, has unified two divisions, have fought 5 undefeated fighters. Andre Ward Super Series, which probably one of the most challenging of a lot of in a span of that time. Lomachenko beating in his first fight, becoming a world champion in his first fight, losing it to Salido, and that's the pothole in his resume. That's the big win. Floyd and Manny are concrete in boxing history. True, but we're talking about this decade, y'all. Just the decade, not in their history, not 2007, not 2006, not 2009, not 2000, not 1999. We're talking about 2010, 2020, up to 2020, right now, December. It's just a decade. That's what I mean. We got to push our feelings to the side. We can't look what Manny Pacquiao did to Barrea and Morales and all and that war. We're not looking at that. We're not looking at the Ricky Hatton fight. We're not looking at the Oscar De La Hoya fight. Oscar De La Hoya is not even in this rank because he ain't fighting this decade like that. So we're looking at fighter of today's decade. I don't disagree, Margarito Clottey, bro. And he got a lot of names. True. And out of all those names, I don't disagree that the Margarito Clottey, Thurman, Bradley 3 times. There was 2 undefeated fighters, Bradley and Thurman, and he lost to Bradley, which a lot of people feel it was a robbery, but if we're going to go by paper, he lost to Bradley. He beat Thurman, which that helps Manny Pacquiao's case. If he didn't fight Keith full-time Thurman, that wouldn't help his case into becoming the best decade, the fighter of the decade. Remember, Manny Pacquiao lost 3 times. 2 of those times, people feel like it was a robbery. The Jeff Horn was a complete robbery. The Bradley fight, it could be a robbery, but been poor. I go Manny, Floyd, and Canelo. So, Mr. Pillo. So, what do you think about Bud Crawford's resume? What do you think about Bud Crawford's resume in this decade? Remember, he became an undisputed world champion, fought 5 undefeated fighters. I feel like he's still doing amazing things in sports, especially beating Keith Thurman, who was unbeaten. He's also full of But we can't go by one fight, Guido. We gotta look at the other guys too. What do you impress? What do you impress about the other guys? I know how you feel about Manny Pacquiao, but what do you feel about the other resumes? How can it compare to Manny Pacquiao? At the end of the day, yes, Manny Pacquiao beat Keith from Tom Thurman, but Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Juan Marquez as well. We have to take that into consideration. Mayweather only fought for half of the decade, while he might have the best resume on paper. I think based on quantity, Canelo should get it. See, that's a legitimate thing right there. Good one. He only fought all the way to 2015, but yet they counted the Conor McGregor fight. And that's one of his going to be downfall on the resume, because he fought a dude that never fought and counted that. They sanctioned that fight. Should have never been sanctioned. So it goes into his resume that he beat Conor McGregor. And that, for me, that gives it a black eye as well. See, I think a lot of people got a lot of potholes and hiccups in their resume. For Floyd Mayweather, that Conor McGregor is a hiccup. How can we respect that? Canelo should have 3 losses in his resume. He shouldn't. We can't go by feelings. We got to go by what's on the resume. Pacquiao is the world's real and true greatest fighters of all time. We ain't talking about all time. I feel you, my brother. You already know this is punch round boxing. I've said it. I've stated it. Everybody knows that Final Four punch round boxing. What I did, I got a bunch of videos saying that Manny Pacquiao was the greatest of all time. El Campeón, the greatest of all time, the GOAT. But we're talking about the decade. Let's stick to the decade. 2010 to 2020. We sticking by the decade. I want to be honest with you. Guido, It's hard. And that's why we got to do the best that we could do to, chop it up. Give me a sec. We got to do the right thing. We got to do the right thing to chop it up and be real about it, right? I disagree. Canelo made Triple G miss a lot. I like Triple G a lot. I like Triple G more. I'll say both fights were close, but I thought Triple G edged both, but wouldn't say it's a robbery. Yeah, we can't say it's not a robbery. That wasn't a robbery. It was a close call. Sometimes close fights are not robberies. If we look at that close fight, we'll be like, oh man, this guy is like, let's say the Sean Porter and Errol Spence fight. It was a close fight, but it wasn't a robbery. The Sean Porter versus Daniel Garcia was a close fight. They gave it to Sean Porter, but it wasn't a robbery. You can't go, we got our feelings. Close fights are not robberies. When it's a close fight, it's very, very hard to score. So it depends on what the judge was looking for, depending on the judge was counting the body shots more than the head shots. And it was counting the defense, because when it's a close fight, defense plays a lot of part as well. A lot of Triple G were super close fights. It was. We got to remember, Canelo Alvarez won a split decision on that one. A lot of people felt that he lost that fight, but it was a split decision. And Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez with a majority decision. One judge gave it to Canelo Alvarez. You already know, you haven't smashed the like button. Smash the like button. You already know this is Punch Round Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshot himself. Super chat. You already know. Donate to the channel if you want. If you can, look out for your boy. So we broke down. Let's see. We got other surprises. Let's go to should we check Anthony Joshua's resume or not? Should we go to his resume? We went to Deontay Wilder's resume. Can we go to Anthony Joshua's resume? I don't think he's gonna have anything significantly. Fight of the decade. Let's go with. Let's see. Let's fight of the decade. We can't even go by. I know Mike Garcia probably became a 3-division world title as Mike Garcia, but he fought a lot of unknown names as well. So right now, of all the names that I've mentioned that I went through, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, Deontay Wilder, Andre Ward, Vasiliy Lomachenko, Bud Crawford. Who's the top 2 or top 3? If it's not Pacquiao, we got to be Saul Alvarez. He been doing the most as of right now. I think in the later part of this decade, yes. If you go to 2010, let's pull out a Keith Thurman. A lot of people gonna be like, "Oh, but what has he done in last?" But let's remember, is what he was doing also in the beginning of the decade. He beat an undefeated fighter in Hoskin, beat Orlando Lara, only 2 fights, beat Carlos Quintana, the same Carlos Quintana who beat Paul Williams, that probably the last boogeyman of the welterweight division. He beat Carlos Quintana, TKO. Zonzavic only had 2 losses. Diego Chavez, another undefeated fighter. That's where he got his title, 2013. Beat Soto Carras, only had Soto Carras just beat Berto right after. Julio Diaz, retired Julio Diaz, bundle undefeated. Guerrero, who only got knocked out for the first time, Collazo, Sean Porter, Dennis Garcia, Josecito Lopez, and lost to Manny Pacquiao. Became unified the welterweight division. Beat a Dennis Garcia and a Sean Porter back-to-back. Now, and also with Deontay Wilder, we got to remember, he defended his title 10 times. Time Muhammad Ali. So Deontay Wilder, let's not forget about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder knocked out 24 straight dudes since 2010 to 2014. 24 dudes. I gotta say it because this is not some regular stuff. No matter how you feel about Deontay Wilder, at the end of the day, just like we gave a little flack for Manny Pacquiao for being robbed from of Jeff Horn, we have to take into consideration Deontay Wilder should not be the Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder started at the age of 20. He shouldn't be who he is right now. So a lot of people be like, "Oh, but Deontay Wilder faced bums." At the end of the day, Deontay Wilder should have been the Uber driver. Deontay Wilder should have been the Lyft driver. Deontay Wilder should have been the food vendor. Let's not forget that. So a lot of people be like, "Oh, but Deontay Wilder didn't fight nobody." Deontay Wilder should have been nobody. He started way too late. He shouldn't be knocking people out like this, starting out the way he started out. Deontay beat 0 Hall of Famers. He is irrelevant. You can't say that. You can't say that. He's having the same thing that Roy Jones Jr. was having. Oh, Roy Jones Jr. want to fight. Yo, you remember when Roy Jones Jr. was beating everybody else, and then people started saying that he wasn't fighting nobody? We have to take into consideration that he's just he was just a special breed. He's just a special breed. Deontay Wilder shouldn't be beating the guy Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz has way more time in fighting. Luis has way more experience. And Deontay Wilder is just not going to the decision. He's knocking dudes out, ladies and gentlemen. So you can't say that he has that is relevancy. He's knocking people out in a spectacular fashion. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's a walking highlight reel. And he started fighting at the age of 20. Age of 20, barely had amateur fights. Come on, y'all. Come on, we got to give him more credit than that, brother. We got to give him more credit than that. Canelo, Pac-Man, Wilder. Hell no, bro. Mayweather this decade, his resume this decade smashes Crawford resume. I believe that he accomplished more, but Crawford accomplished more. I mean, more hardware. He became unified, won 135 pounds, unified in 140, became undisputed in 140, and got a belt in 147 pounds. 3-division world title, undisputed. Remember, not even Floyd Mayweather himself ever been undisputed. Not even Manny Pacquiao himself ever been undisputed. Nobody that I'm saying now, Canelo Alvarez has ever been undisputed. Are we gonna not realize that undisputed is a big thing in the sport of boxing? It just not, remember, boxing is an 100+ year sport. It's a very historic sport. For somebody to become undisputed is a big deal, and we should not take it any less than that. And he did it this decade. So he might not have the names. See, some people are being overshadowed with the names. We just can't be overshadowed with the brand names. We gotta take it into who they was fighting. They was undefeated. Hold those other people's losses just because we don't know them, and just because it wasn't a hot division. Just like Andre Ward's division wasn't a hot division, but he was still doing his thing, and the Super Series was great. Deontay Wilder is a conversation he drew versus a cocaine addict. Roy Jones was special. He's my second favorite fighter of all time. And yeah, I remember when people were saying that Roy Jones wasn't fighting nobody. But people forgot when he fought James Toney. James Toney that time was regarded pound for pound, and Roy Jones beat him. And all you heard from his career at that time is he ain't fighting nobody. It's because the way he was beating dudes. See, now they say Deontay Wilder ain't fighting nobody, but Deontay Wilder he's the one that's supposed to be the nobody. That's my whole point when it comes to Deontay Wilder. He's the one that's supposed to be the nobody. He's the surprise. Nobody thought that Deontay Wilder was going to be this. Nobody. Names are main things. Names are not always the main thing. I agree with you that names is good. But we're talking about names, but we're talking about the precision of when those names are. For example, when Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez only beat really Austin Trout. Yeah, he was a name, but he had the fan base, and he had the Golden Boy promotion. He had the Oscar de la Hoya on by his side. But it wasn't that he wasn't a unified titleist. He didn't win all multiple division world titles. You understand what I'm saying? So it wasn't that. Like if he beat Canelo Alvarez today, whoa, we already know who Canelo Alvarez. That's another cash cow. Means not the main thing. Later, I'm out of here. All right, brother. Take care. I understand what you're saying about Deontay, but you gotta give credit, man. He's surprising beating bums. I guess. Boy, beat James Toney, Tito Trinidad. What better A-Division war being undisputed in form? My brother, but we talking about the decade, Lemon. You gotta stay in the decade. You gotta stay in the decade. You can't be. You keep saying A-Division or being undisputed. A-Division. We're talking about the decade. Bud Crawford became undisputed in this decade. We're not talking about the best of all times. So I'm about to end this in a minute. Let me know right now. Who y'all think, and we could do a part 2 of this, because Perry guys still do the Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has to fight Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz has to fight. I don't believe nobody else has to fight that we're gonna be on the list anyway. Let me know who y'all think right now who should be. Just say the name right now. Just type the name, whoever, right now, who's supposed to be number 1. Number 1 fight of the decade right now. Who is it? We need a part 2. We might need a part 2. So we do it tomorrow then, or we do it right now? I don't know, bro. I think it's either Canelo, Mayweather. Yeah, I think that's the thing. The Canelo, Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao, right? Sacramento Canelo. Man, I will go with Pacquiao and Mayweather. Yo, the Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather, that's the thing right there, man. Is Because then we also go on by difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Margarito was a difficulty. Thurman was a difficulty. He beat Bradley, which was undefeated, that people feel like he robbed. That was difficulty. Juan Marquez, he beat Juan Marquez, but then he got knocked out. That's the roadblock right there, son. That's the roadblock. Should have never fought Marquez, man. You already beat him, man. Should have never fought him 4 times. Should have never fought him the 4th time. You saw how cut Marquez came? And we all know. We know the sport of boxing. We know athletes. We see. Do you see what I see? I'm not going to say it, but Marquez's body looked like something else. But I ain't going to say it, y'all. Because if I open that can of worm, there's going to be a lot of worms that's going to be opening up. But Marquez looked the extra spike. That fight. A little extra cut up for that fight. In a short period of time. I heard rumors Marquez was on steroids. I ain't say it. But you know where I'm heading. And in the 4 fights, you already know, man, Marquez is like, you know what? I ain't gonna beat this guy. This is my only chance, man. My only chance. Damn it. Give me the needle, goddamn it. Dame espuñalar y mimito las nargas. Porque era así como le va a ganar a este Manny Pacquiao. I will go with Canelo Alvarez because Mayweather has fought for a while. Oh, man. Okay, I see Canelo Alvarez, man. Shane Monk is the best in training before you talk. Now, Marquez, and you got to remember Marquez. Remember, people forget Marquez was number 3 pound for pound. Marquez was number 2 pound for pound at that time when Mayweather retired. He was number 2nd pound for pound of Manny Pacquiao. So it wasn't that Manny Pacquiao was just losing to some other dude. Manny Pacquiao was losing to Marquez. Marquez was a problem. I mean, I'll go with Canelo Alvarez because I agree with Marquez. I don't know, man. 40, I get eat that trade. Super welterweight against Motivation. Welterweight division 3 times against Bradley Wilder. Yep. He kept getting his belt back. Manny Pacquiao did keep getting his belt back. Man, it's a hard one, y'all. Man, it's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. Yo, Marquez beat Pacquiao because of that shit. The amount of pee he drank during training. Oh, yeah. Smash the like button. Yo, we're going to finish this probably later, man, tomorrow. Okay, all right, man. Let's do a part 2 tomorrow. We ain't going to say it right now. We're doing a part 2. So everybody tune in tomorrow around this time, 9-ish. We're about to finish part 2 because it looks like we can't come up with a whole concrete answer. It's Manny Pacquiao, it's Canelo Alvarez, it's Floyd Mayweather, and I feel like a lot of people are saying those 3 names. So it looks like it got to be one of those 3 names. Well, we agree on that one and we finish it tomorrow. Do we agree on this one? And how about we do this? How about we do this so we can have legitimacy, a legitimate breakdown? We are going to do our studies even more, right? We're going to be breaking it down. Everybody be on your studies. Go with the resume. Go at the time of that resume. So let's say when we're breaking it down at 2011, whoever Manny Pacquiao be in 2011 or Canelo Alvarez be in 2011. Go by that, his opponent, and go by the ranking of his opponent. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, but he beat this guy. Who was this guy? Like, for example, like Bill Crawford, he beat Felix Diaz. But Felix Diaz was in the top when Bill Crawford fought him. But now people be like, well, he beat Felix Diaz. Who's Felix Diaz? You know? So we got to go at that time. So how about we do more study? We come part 2. And let's not throw names. We're going to go right strictly through the book, unbiasedly, logically, objectively, right? Wilder for Boxer of the Decade. See, okay, we got a Wilder because I got a Wilder too on the bottom. I gotta stick Wilder in there, man. Come on, 24 knockouts, 33 knockouts in the span of 10 years, 33 knockouts. We need to investigate more. Yeah. He was a sparring partner. Yeah. Sacramento, I'm giving y'all homework, son. Oh, yeah, Punch Drunk is giving you homework now. I'm giving you homework. Where's the blackboard? So, tomorrow, I would like each and every one of you to go out there and research who's best fighter of the decade, all right? I don't want no homework late. If you want to work on some extra credit, then you work on some extra credit, you know. Don't give me no apples. Don't give me no apples. Matter of fact, give me a super chat. That'll be good for you. How about that? I don't want nobody kissing the teacher's butthole. No. You got to do your homework. I want you to come prepare with your number 2 pencils. Yeah, man. Let's do the homework. You know, and you know what? In boxing, fans really don't like to do the homework. We boxing heads, right? So at the end of the day, let's do it the right way. So when we breaking the things out there and we talking to casual and they don't know nothing, be like, yo, who's the best? Manny Pacquiao or Canelo Alvarez. Why? No, because he's the best. Nah, it's not the best. We got to break it down. We got to break it down with facts. We got to break it down at that time. For example, like I said, like a while ago right now, Bud Crawford fought Felix Diaz like an example. Doesn't mean because Felix Diaz does not know now, that doesn't mean he's garbage now. Feel me? That doesn't mean when Lomachenko fought Nicholas that he was a bum before he was retired. Remember, he was supposed to be the one that was going to give Lomachenko a problem. And Lomachenko retired him, so he became just a bum out of nowhere. Nah, let's not forget Lara was a problem. Let's not forget that Trout was a problem at that time. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez just beat Trout. He's not the Canelo Alvarez today. So we got to take into consideration the ranked fighters and where were they at that time. Yeah, we always screw casual sometimes. It's really frustrating what they always say. Leo Tyson, when you do a fact, they say something dumb. Exactly. Now you already know how I feel, man. I like, hey, sister, why are ya? Hope everything's doing good. Hope the marriage is doing well. Hope the job is doing good. School Walters. Loma did School Walters. But remember what they said about Walters coming into that fight. They said it was going to be a problem. Hello. They said it was going to be a problem, right? Would have beat Slap Wilder back in the days. Ali is a very great fighter. I don't differ. You have him. You should have reason. Damn right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have some reasons. Let's finish this. Let's chop it up tomorrow, y'all. This is Punch Your Boxing. You already know, man. Stay tuned tomorrow. You already know. On to the next. Tomorrow, we're going to finish it up. We're going to do homework. Homework for everybody, damn it. Homework for everybody.